Alright folks, if you're turning into this new attempt at broadcasting I'm going to do, it's going to be a mix of the CCW shows, labeled as the history of WWCA, a program I used to write, a fantasy wrestling company. I'm taking the characters that I wrote about and putting them back through history, but letting the video game decide how it all goes. And why I'm not labeling this as each individual show is rather than starting the broadcast, stopping the broadcast, starting the broadcast, stopping the broadcast, because on Friday nights I'm going to try and get through a month at a time. That's easier said than done when we get into the 80s and especially the 90s and the 2000s where there's more TV shows. But for the 50s, 50s, 60s, and early 80s, it's doable. Might only be able to do like 1 or 2 weeks at a time, then might have to expand. But I've talked a big game before about what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, and it never comes to fruition with these things because, when you're not getting viewers, it's kind of boring to keep doing things. Now, so this is what we're doing. This is the April 7th show that we're going to do, and the matches you see, this is WWE 2K19, by the way. So when you go into storyline, they have matches set up for you, and you either eliminate them or go with them. And for a 1950 show, there's no way there's going to be, looks like 7 matches on the card. So I'd only be doing the first couple matches anyway. And the original matches are all written. One thing I will say about this, if you're getting this far into the video, that means you're seriously want to check this stuff out, and great. When I start the actual show, I'm going to go right into broadcast mode as Edmund Vincent, my grandfather. Hopefully he won't cough. Because the plan is to eventually go back, edit these shows individual shows, and re-upload without all this that I'm doing right now. So, yeah, how do I edit match? Alright, now the April 7th show is only one match. One match that was aired, and the original match that I wrote is a 50-minute match. If we go that long, I'm probably not going to be able to do more than just the one show, so let's see what we have to work with. And I'm going to go alphabetically. Now this is just a non-title match between the Canadian Destroyer and Baron Horst Mueller. And again, I stress that these matches are written as if it's the 1950s, so you cannot, anything said or done, don't put your wokest 2023 crap into it. Just enjoy the show for what it is. And we can go ahead and accept. And that's the only match on the show, whether it's 50 minutes like I wrote it, or it's 35 seconds. That's the only match I'm doing, because that's how it was written. So let's go ahead and accept. And as soon as I hit start show, again, I'm Edmund Vincent. So this is April 7th, 1950, Friday night. Ottawa Auditorium in Ottawa, Canada. Canadian Championship Wrestling Television. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and your Canadian Championship Wrestling. I'm Edmund Vincent, and welcome to another exciting edition of Canadian Wrestling from the Ottawa Auditorium on a Friday night. It's April 7th, folks, and we've got a great show for you tonight. We've got one match scheduled with several standby matches on display. But it's going to be a rivalry, Canada against the old Axis powers, Baron Horst Mueller taking on your favorite son, the Canadian Destroyer. Let's go down to ringside for that match. This is a grudge match that goes back over a decade, back to wartime. The Canadian Destroyer, not a veteran, but Baron Horst Mueller did fight for the Germans in the World War, and the Canadian Destroyer, a fan favorite. He's going to come out first.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring. From Canada, weighing in at 205 pounds, the Destroyer.
Calgary's own Canadian Destroyer makes the trip over for the 4th time to compete here on Friday Night Wrestling from the Ottawa Auditorium. 40 years old. Still going strong, however. He's been wrestling the Canadian circuit for the last decade and a half, almost 2 decades. As an entertainer, he was able to avoid action in the World War. But this man, he fought for Hitler's army. I mistakenly earlier said the Destroyer was 40 years old. I apologize. He's 30. He's 30 years old. So he's been wrestling for just over a decade. Baron Horst Mueller, however, is 37 years old. A veteran of Hitler's army. And after the war, escaped persecution, found his way to the Canadian wrestling mats, and has refused to give up his mantra of world domination. As he stated earlier that when I was speaking to him, and it's very hard to understand him, but he did say that the Fuhrer may be gone, but he is here to dominate Canadian wrestling in his honor. So we got a hell of a grudge match. Obviously the Canadian... Oh, Mueller trying for the handshake. Oh, and would you expect anything other than that? As the Destroyer was thinking about it, Mueller shows his true colors. And as we get this match underway, there is no room for that kind of attitude in professional sports. And the Destroyer now has to try to take advantage. Oh, again, a cheap shot as referee was trying to break them up. Oh, we got a pin attempt. What a fantastic maneuver by the Canadian Destroyer. Got Mueller down in an armbar and just wrenching for all he's worth on the ligaments and the joints of Mueller's right arm. Backed into the ropes now. This should be called for a break. The referee coming over, trying to separate them. And, oh, of course, how many times is the Destroyer going to fall for that before he wisens the fact that Mueller does not care? Mueller driving the back of the Destroyer's head into the ring mat and then planting a foot right between his vertebrae. Destroyer fighting off. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a fantastic high-flying maneuver from the Destroyer. A flying head scissors takedown. and just continuing to work over the arm of Baron Horst Mueller. Mueller now back on the advantage, taking the Destroyer down. But only getting a 1 count for his actions. Snapmare takeover. And just following up with trying to drive Mueller face first into the mat between his own knees. This match has been back and forth early on in this show. And Mueller with a maneuver bringing Destroyer out of the corner, and now he's going to go to work on the Canadian hero's left leg. Nope. Instead, he brings him to his feet. Destroyer. A sleeper hold. He's got a sleeper hold on Mueller. Can this... No. Mueller dropping down on his backside, getting out of the sleeper hold before Destroyer could really cinch it in. And we continue to go back and forth now, trading blows. And it looks like the Destroyer is going to set up for a body slam. A little close to the ropes, but he still drives him down into the mat. Destroyer looks like he is going to go for an illegal maneuver off the top rope. The referee's going to try to get him down. Waiting for Mueller to get on his feet. And that is a flying cross body off the top rope, but he only gets a... Next week on Canadian Wrestling from the Ottawa Auditorium, Vern Gagne defends the Canadian Heavyweight Championship against the #1 contender. But Baron Horst Mueller, ladies and gentlemen, while I was trying to remember who the #1 contender is, Mueller gets the pinfall victory. And the fans here in Canada are not happy with that. Mueller just too much weight. That time he kicks out though. That was when he broke up the sleeper hold. The crossbody, that was a thing of beauty, but it was not enough to keep Mueller down. Driving him face first into the mat. Mueller gets the pinfall victory. And you got to think that Vern Gagne's got to be on Mueller's radar as he too wants a shot at the Canadian Heavyweight Championship.
Here is your winner, Baron Horst Mueller.
Mueller gets the victory on this Friday Night Wrestling, and we thank you for joining us. Remember to join us next week as we have a Canadian Heavyweight Championship matchup coming your way from the Auditorium in Ottawa on Friday Night Wrestling. Thank you and good night. Okay, so like I said earlier, what did I do? That is the match for the show. Shoot. Okay, learning here. I know this game is 3 years old, 4 years old, but there's a learning curve. While I wrap up the show, and I haven't done it online. Usually I will sign off from the broadcast, blah blah blah. I don't remember if there was a #1 contendership match or not. But I can't come to you live every Friday night, as sometimes I work. But when I can, I will definitely try and bring to you the exciting show. Oh. Those triple threats were not...
Making his way to the ring from Texas.
The other thing I forgot to do was turn off the intros, because they weren't a thing either. I'll have to remember for the April 14th show to do that. Oh, man. So that's not how we want to skip, because it takes us... We're not going to do this 7 times. Both these guys are real wrestlers. This is my story. This is something else I could talk about in between. It's something I started as a child in the 80s. The backstory was written in the late 90s as a young adult or late teenager, young adult. I got back into it. I started doing an email show in 2000. It was well received. I did that for 2-3 years, but it is hard when you're trying to live a real life, work a job, date, eventually get married. It's hard. And I took breaks. I came back. I took breaks. My father helped me out a little bit. May he rest in peace. We'll get to him eventually, although in the timeline that we're in, he's not born yet, so... I have all of the 1950 wrestlers created. I'm going to try to... Alright, we want to quit match this time. Yes. Switch to 2K23 for the next year. And, alright, so... Momentum, entrance on, well that's... Simulate. Edward Williams. That would be my grandfather on my mother's side. Oh, crap. I saw Bronco Nagurski again. I thought that was the match we just simulated. So, once again, we have to get through all this. My son says this speeds up the loading. It kind of does look like it's kind of speeding it up. This loading is ridiculous, though, how long it takes. Hopefully, as we get into the newer WWE games, it's sped up. I saw something cool earlier that under custom portraits you can do logos in the 2K23 game. So instead of looking at these two men's faces, we'll be looking at their logos. Now, in 1950, they wouldn't have logos, so that's something more for the 80s, because it's something that was popular in the 80s to do. One thing I will say is not all the individual shows in the 50s, 60s, and 70s or 80s for that matter are written. The pay-per-views are up through 2014. The title holders are up to date, but obviously this will not follow any of that, because originally I had Whipper Billy Watson as the champ at this time, and he's not. So in the video game series, it's Vern Gagne. Again, if you're watching this, you're really going to become a hardcore fan of this, this part anyway, so. Please don't take me into that match again. One thing I wish we could do is get rid of... So that's the only match that actually happened right there. Baron Horst Mueller defeats Canadian Destroyer. So now it simulates up to the next Friday. April 14th was a one match night. It's a title match. So we're going to go ahead and edit match. Custom participants. So the champion's got to be first. Which is Vern Gagne. And he's defending. Now, I just want to make sure, because I have been defending against Chief Brown Bear. There wasn't a #1 contendership match. No. Does not appear to be. Okay. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match, too, so Chief Brown Bear. Alright, so, something I'd been forgetting to do is, put in the CCW Championship rules. And since it's 2 out of 3 falls, the only way I can do that is to make this match 3 times. Because apparently the 2 out of 3 falls thing isn't actually a thing. So we need to edit this. Just bear with me for a minute, or you can go ahead and fast forward if you don't like listening to me talk. Give you a little history lesson, I guess. Okay, the entrance is turned off. Match is set up 3 times. Now it's April 14th. We're about to go on the show. So once again, I'm going to go into broadcast mode, and we'll see you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Friday Night Wrestling on Canadian television. Live from the Ottawa Auditorium tonight, we have a championship match for you. It is the champion, Vern Gagne, defending against the Big Chief, Chief Brown Bear, in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Canadian Heavyweight Championship. I'm Edmund Vincent, and tonight, we're going to see if the Brown Bear can win the title from Vern Gagne. Now let's go a little bit over while we the tail of the tape, if you will. Chief Brown Bear, the challenger from British Columbia, Canada, Coquitlam, loves to finish his opponents off with the Indian Deathlock. He is 27 years of age, and this is his 3rd appearance here on Canadian Heavyweight Wrestling, Friday Night Wrestling at the Auditorium. Meanwhile, the champion out of Robbinsdale, Minnesota, the American, he is a proponent of the sleeper hold, and this is his 3rd appearance as well. He is just 34 years old. And we are underway now. Brown Bear, the challenger, Gagne, going to behind. Not sure what he's trying to do, but Brown Bear is able to get out of it, and he puts on a headlock, and the barefooted wrestler drives a bare knee into Gagne's back. But Gagne is back. Of course, it's an hour time limit for the championship, and in order to win the match and be the champion, you have to win 2 falls. Picks him up by his torso and slams him down into the canvas. And now a suplex, a standing vertical suplex, belly to belly style. And Gagne showing why the youngster is the champion here on Friday nights. But he cannot even get a 1 count as the Chief is able to kick out. Swinging neck breaker. But Gagne with a foot, and remember, Gagne has the advantage of wrestling with foot attire, whereas Brown Bear does not. Being dragged back into the middle of the ring and dropping a knee into the solar plexus portion of the lower back. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Twisting his arm into a precarious position and stomping on it before Gagne can get his wits about him and get out of it. There is a European uppercut and a takedown maneuver from Gagne. Oh, he went for a kick, but Brown Bear caught him and then leg whips him down to the mat. We're almost 2 minutes into this match. And oh, what a kick. What a lower reversing into the corner. Nope, Gagne coming back out. But neither man is willing to give in at this point. A back suplex from Brown Bear. Dropping a knee. And now going for a submission hold. But nope, decides against it. And is going to drag the champ back into the middle of the ring. Perhaps going for the cover. Yes, going for a pinfall cover. 1 count only. Now, driving that elbow into Gagne's the trapezius area between the neck and the shoulders, and perhaps working on the leg now to set up that Indian Deathlock. Rolling him over. Springtime in Ottawa, bringing out championship fervor between these 2 men, the American Gagne and the Canadian, the Big Chief, Brown Bear. Goes for the cover. But Gagne is able to kick out. Vern Gagne won the title from the first champion, Wild Bill Longston, almost 2 months ago in his first appearance on Friday Night Wrestling. But right now he seems to be in a little bit of trouble. 2, and Chief Brown Bear gets the first pin. That's just the first pin, remember. Here we are. Oh, the second fall. Right away. The count continues. Sometimes you just let the action speak for itself. Gagne working over the limb. He got the pinfall to take the first fall. Not only 4 minutes into the ring, perhaps the experience of Brown Bear working on the youngster out of Robbinsdale, Minnesota. Just 24 years of age is Vern Gagne. A whole career ahead of him. Interesting look at the suplex maneuver there for Gagne. Brown Bear quickly regaining control and again going to work on the right arm of the champion. Going for a cover. This could be a clean sweep. But no, there's still fight left in the champ as he kicks out. Brown Bear went for a looked like a pinning combination, but Gagne is able to use the power in his legs to kick out. And he gets a 2 count himself before Brown Bear gets free. These two men are going to go back and forth. Neither one wanting to fall here. And the sleeper hold. Gagne holds on his patented sleeper hold. But no, Brown Bear is able to get out of it. Staggering Gagne back into the ring ropes. Dropping him belly first onto his knee. That's got to hurt. Elbow into the knee. Gagne is woozy. Slams him down and goes for the cover. But Gagne is able to kick out. We do not have a new champion yet. Vern Gagne fighting hard, trying to retain his championship. Brown Bear with shots to the back, but Gagne reverses it into a takedown. And still the champ. Brown Bear with an uppercut. Elbow, then a back thrust into the face, and Gagne's down. He's slowly getting back to his feet, and the Chief is going to wait him out this time. Driving him face first into the canvas. I'm not sure how much more punishment Gagne can take, but here's the pinfall. 2, but Gagne kicks out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm at the edge of my seat. I don't know about you here. Friday night, April 14th. Canadian Wrestling from the Ottawa Auditorium. Gagne reversing, delivering a shoulder block into Brown Bear. The Chief this time reverses things, jaw-jacking him. Chops to the chest and head. And then a running chop right across Gagne's face. Chief getting some momentum, but an uppercut from Gagne. We do a fireman's carry and the gut buster. Chief Brown Bear missing. Not sure what he's attempting. Gagne seems to be rattled. This time a knee to the stomach works. 2 pump kicks right to Gagne's chest, and the champion is out of the ring. The referee begins the count. You have a 10 count here in Ottawa to get back in the ring. Brown Bear, he knows he cannot win the championship unless it's inside the ring, so he pushes Gagne back in. Brown Bear a little indecisive now, playing a little merry-go-round dance with the turnbuckle, gets into the ring. Gagne crawling to the ropes. Brown Bear gives him the assist to get up. Elbow into the gut. Gagne showing the power and the strength in his legs, just taking them and flipping Brown Bear over onto his back, and now the pinfall cover by the champ. but Brown Bear is able to kick out. This has been a fantastic back and forth matchup between the challenger, the Chief Brown Bear, and the champion, Vern Gagne. Many thought that his victory over Wild Bill Longson on February 17th was the biggest upset of 1950, and it may well intend to be, but if Gagne can hold on and win this match, he might start proving some of the doubters that it was no fluke. Brown Bear with a leg screw takedown, and now he is posing a little bit to the fans. The fans, of course, here in Canada seem to love the Chief. They want one of their own to be the champion. Bear up on the ropes, up on the middle rope, driving his fist into Gagne's face. Not a legal maneuver, but you got a 5 count to kick out. Can he? No, Gagne kicks out again. And the Chief, he's motioning for Gagne to get up. He's going to assist him. Oh my goodness, a high-flying, fast, speedy maneuver. Catches the Brown Bear off guard, but he's able to kick out. Of course, the Chief out of the native territories up in British Columbia has lived the life of simplicity, as he says. He wants to fight for Mother Earth and the ancestors, and that is what he brings. We're over 10 minutes into this match now. Remember, Bear did get a early pinfall advantage. He's up 1-0. It is a 2 out of 3 falls match, so all Bear needs now is to get the staggering Gagne and keep him down. Belly-to-belly suplex. If he can keep him down for a 3 count, we will have a new champion in the Canadian Chief Brown Bear. Gagne kicking out, fighting his way out. Brown Bear missing wildly with a punch. And the champ is whipped. Oh, but he brings the elbow back out, and he's got the sleeper hold down. We've told you before, he likes using the sleeper hold to finish off his opponents. Brown Bear is fading. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get out of this one, folks. And we are even now at 1 fall apiece. And right away, Gagne going for the cover. I actually not sure if the referee counted that. May have. I guess we'll find out if Gagne is able to get a fall. If that fall counted. Brown Bear now with a submission hold of his own. Champ is fighting to get out of it. And he does, and he leg sweeps Brown Bear down. A kick to the back of the leg. And dropping the champion across the top rope on his chest. Working on that arm again. Dropping a leg right across the throat of Vern Gagne. And he's going to go for the cover. Could this be it? The referee taking his time, however. Referee out of position. You wonder if possibly he could have got a 3 count if that had come to fruition. The Chief driving the elbow again into the trap. Going to turn the champion over. The challenger going for, oh, look at the power. Up into a belly-to-back suplex. Pure strength out of the big Indian out of British Columbia. Dropping the shin right across the chin, if you will, of Vern Gagne. But the champ's finding resilience. He's finding a second wind, or maybe fourth wind at this point. And, tries the bear hug. Brown Bear with a suplex into a pinning combination, but can't even get the 1 count. Can't even get the 1 count, folks. Whipper, Wild Bill Longson held the title for just under a month before Vern Gagne took it from him. And we have a winner of 2 falls. Chief Brown Bear is your new Canadian heavyweight champion. In just over 15 minutes, he gets the second of the 2 falls needed and wins this thing 2 falls to 1. Gagne with a sleeper hold got the other fall. And we have a new champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Brown Bear ends the short, less than 2-month run of Vern Gagne to become the third Canadian champion.
Here is your winner and new heavyweight champion, Brown Bear.
Chief Brown Bear out of British Columbia is your champion here on this April 14th, 1950. Congratulations to the Big Chief on his accomplishment. Gagne held the title for 58 days. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week on another exciting edition of Canadian Championship Wrestling. Alright, so, see, I was unaware that it was a 2 out of 3 falls match. When I was setting it up, it didn't look like that. But, indeed it was, and, see, what's weird though is it doesn't even say 2 out of 3 falls. Maybe those 2 falls I was just seeing things. I don't know. Oh, yeah, the matches I didn't schedule. Regardless, they look good. So it looks like there was a 2 out of 3 falls match, so. Now all of a sudden Vern Gagne is bald because he comes back out in that look. Actually, Watson's supposed to be the champion this time, so we'll give him the win. And that ends the show. I want to look into that, make sure that it is a 2 out of 3 falls match before we do the April 21st show. But real quick, let me, as we go, I'm typing up the stuff in a spreadsheet so that I can always refer back to it. Just for future references. Now, interestingly enough, in the history that I wrote, Chief Brown Bear does become champion, and is champion for quite a while, but not this early. Not this early, nope. Okay, the next show does have 3 matches. There's 2 matches scheduled, April 21st. So let's go ahead and set them up. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to exit out of this for just a second because I want to check something. Oh, there we go. It is 2 out of 3 falls. Nice, 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 nice. Off. Okay, yep. Is there a time limit? Everything's 60 minutes, so... I must have missed it. Ring out 10... Time limit 60 minutes. Okay. So they're all what I want. Okay, so we have 2 matches on this card. One, Andrew Toughman Connor versus Tex Riley. We have guys created for different entrance off, title match off, different links. Now originally I had Tex Riley defeat Connor in 11 minutes 47 seconds by disqualification. So it'll be interesting to see how the computer works this out. Again, there's 2 matches. So this match next, Bronco Nagurski versus the Cardiff Giant. This one is a big one as far as star power. Both of these men actually wrestled at the time. Oh yeah, Bronco Nagurski's up here for some reason. Bronco Nagurski was a football star for the Chicago Bears at the time, and the Cardiff Giant, I think he might actually be right there, was a big-time wrestler in his own right too in the 50s. And when I created him, of course, neither are men you think of when you think of modern day wrestling. I can almost guarantee you that neither come to mind, although both. And so what I want to do for this is I want to open up a Wikipedia page, actually 2 Wikipedia pages, so I can try and get some info on them for the show, the April 21st show. And we're going to put in Bronco. Actually, I don't know if Cardiff Giant would even have one, because simply there's also the legend of the Cardiff Giant. So let me search while I'm waiting here. Alright, it's an American Astrological Hoax, so there is no page for the Cardiff Giant on Wikipedia. However, if I go to cagematch.net, click on wrestlers, type in Cardiff, Cardiff Giant does come up. Now, he is out of Iowa in the USA, but he died. Sadly, one thing I'll get into real quick about these 2 men. Nagurski died in 1990. Giant died before I was even born. He died in 1978, November 17th. I was born April 13th, so my mom was pregnant with me at the time, but I did not live at the same time he did, obviously. So, but anyway, the original match that was written, Bronco Nagurski defeated Cardiff Giant by disqualification in 40 minutes and 10 seconds. And having only 2 match show, both ending in disqualification in 2023, would infuriate the wrestling world, and I can only imagine the Twitter reaction. But so here we go. This will be our 3rd show of tonight's Friday night WWCA history. April 21st, 1950, Canadian wrestling from the Ottawa Auditorium. Good evening. Excuse me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Ottawa Auditorium for another edition of Friday Night Wrestling here on Canadian Championship Wrestling. We have an exciting show tonight. 2 matches, bringing up some Americans to see how they're going to work tonight's Canadian crowd here on Friday nights. Andrew Tough Man Connor versus Tex Riley. Connor is making his 3rd appearance. The 33-year-old from, actually, he's not American. I'm sorry. He's from Swansea, Wales. So he's a Welsh wrestler. Tex Riley, he is American. Out of Muleshoe, Texas. He is about 33 years old himself. This is just his 2nd appearance here on Canadian Wrestling, so it'll be interesting to see how the 2 men work the ring together here on this Friday night Canadian Wrestling. 60-minute time limit. Riley, the thinner of the 2 in the lighter trunks, but Connor showing his power as he just bowls over Tex Riley. Connor agile for a bigger man. They call him the Tough Man because he loves traveling around, getting into fights with people in bars. That's his deal. And he found the wrestling circuit, joined up, and we'll see how he does. Just bringing the power and his massive size into Riley's chest. Riley trying to bring him down with a lariat, but a leg sweep takedown is the trick. Pulling Connor up for a fist right to the face. Whip into the ring, missing wildly with a lariat as Connor ducks. Connor's going to return the favor and throw Riley into the corner, following in with a lariat of his own, and he goes for the pin. Nope, cannot even get the referee to connect for 1 count as Riley is able to kick out. The big Texan, or I'm sorry, not so big when you compare to Tough Man Connor. The Texan bringing out some illegal closed fist punches. The referee needs to get on that. Riley brings Connor down, and he's going to stretch him now. Riley's specialty out of Muleshoe. I'm sorry, those 2 words together are hard to say. Muleshoe, Texas. I guess if you're putting shoes on mules, you can say them. Connor with a slam, but Riley is able to kick out. And now Riley has got the advantage. It is short-lived. Connor with a punch to the gut. And a jumping bulldog maneuver bringing Riley down. Not sure how much the Texan has left. Connor saying it's about over. A flying elbow. And that is all she wrote. Andrew Tough Man Connor gets the win over Tex Riley. Another superb wrestling action bout from Ottawa on Friday nights. Andrew Tough Man Connor not letting his added weight be a disadvantage. He uses it to help put away his opponents, and tonight being Tex Riley seemed to be little to no match as Connor finished it off with a somersault into an elbow drop. A very fascinating maneuver. Gets the 3 count and continues up the ranks. Of course, last week we saw Chief Brown Bear win the Canadian Heavyweight Championship. You can guarantee yourself that Connor is going to be lining up to try and get a championship opportunity at the Big Chief. Tonight, however, he is victorious over Tex Riley. So coming up next, we have an interesting matchup between 2 big names in the wrestling business. Bronco Nagurski, a former NFL back with the Chicago Bears, won a couple championships with them, came out of retirement during World War II to help lead the Bears to a champion before entering the professional wrestling world in 1933. The Cardiff Giant, on the other hand, he's a myth. Not a lot is known about this man. Ken Nagurski used his NFL background. Oh, Giant coming right off with a shoulder block, taking the NFL legend down. The Bears could probably use Nagurski at this point, as they are not in contention, or at least they were not in 49, which saw the Philadelphia Eagles win their second straight NFL championship. And I'm sure many teams in Canada would love to have Nagurski working for them as well. Little bit of information. Bronco Nagurski out of Rainy River, Ontario. Many people don't realize that he is Canadian himself because he played professional football in the States. A lot of people forget this 41-year-old is Canadian. The Cardiff Giant, it's said that he's 38 years old. We don't really know. We do know that he is from Cardiff, Wales. Or, of course, in the last match we saw Andrew Tuffman Connor out of Swansea, Wales. So tonight's a Welsh comment. Earlier I said that there was a lot of Americans on this show, and I was actually wrong. It was only Tex Riley. Again, when you work alone, sometimes your information is incorrect. Nagurski now is in control, driving a knee into the Giant's back. The Giant fights his way out. Bronco Nagurski using that speed and agility which made him a legend in the NFL with the Chicago Bears. And like I said, at 41 years of age, I'm sure Papa Bear Hallis would love to sign him for another run. The Giant with a smashing blow, taking down Nagurski, and now he's going to slam his entire body weight on Nagurski's lower back, rolls him over for a pinning attempt, but Nagurski kicks out. Bronco, the man who starred in now multiple sports in his life, goes for the cover, but the Giant kicks out. This, by the way, is Nagurski's fourth appearance here on Canadian Wrestling on Friday nights. And for the Cardiff Giant, it's his third. So we're very familiar with both these two men here in the first few months of our young company. We're in our fourth month and have already had 3 heavyweight champions crowned. And again, these two men know Chief Brown Bear's the champion. They are both well aware that they want a shot at the championship gold, and in order to get that, you gotta win so that the championship committee can see these victories and potentially give title matches out. Nagurski with a tackle, with a pickup, and then a takedown, and he's going to go for a rear chin lock maneuver. The Giant is refusing to give up, so Nagurski's going to let him go and try something else. How about a front chin lock? The rear lock didn't work, so now he's going to put his body weight on him with the front and go for the cover. It's going to take a lot, I think, to get this Cardiff Giant to give in. He is 6'6". That is a big size advantage on most people. But Bronco Nagurski does not care. The 6'2" football star gets the win here on Friday Night Wrestling. Giant was up to the task, but Nagurski, he said he wasn't going to give up without a fight, and just like that, Nagurski gets the win, and that is going to be very beneficial to him in potential championship rankings and a future championship match for the NFL star. Next week, we'll be back with more Canadian wrestling from the Auditorium in Ottawa. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next Friday night for more Friday Night Wrestling from the Auditorium in Ottawa. Until then, I'm Edmund Vincent. Thanks for joining. Okay, let me put in the results. Bear with me. I had a couple viewers. Of course, they came in while I was doing the show, so it's hard. I can't acknowledge and all that, of course. Also, it dawned on me during that show that saying Bronco's last name might be problematic in today's day and age if I do not pronounce it exactly right. Again, he is a real person. You can look him up, so don't get into all that. But I just want to point out that I'm aware that that could be a problem. I'll handle it. If I have to mute the whole matches when he wrestles, I will. It's funny because it's a man's name, but if you go on to like EA Sports, Madden Football, there are certain things that one of them, for instance, there was a football player in 1960 whose last name was Muff, and you cannot say, or you cannot type that, even though it is an actual football term, but Muff is considered offensive by EA Sports. That's, of course, if you're editing online. Alright, so we're going to simulate this. This is the last two champions. Sky High. Cardiff working twice. The NWA champion. Another good match. Alright, April 28th has 4 matches, culminating the month. So we're going to get to that in just a second. And that'll finish off our night. Let's go ahead and advance. Let's just see what they say for power rankings. Oh, Nagurski's up to number 1. The champion is 6. That's interesting. And he's on a downward trend? Alright, so in the first match... Alright. The first match is going to feature Lance Parker. Turn the entrances of Lance Parker facing Pierre Vinette. Now we get through this. And in the original April 28, 1950, Vinette defeated Parker in 6 minutes and 30 seconds by pinfall. Okay, the next match. It's interesting that Parker's in this match. Okay. This match features... Shinjay Magamuchi, a Korean wrestler, up against Tex Riley. Entrance off, okay. Accept. I don't know if you can hear the music. I know it gets blurred on the actual broadcast, but if you can hear it on my microphone. Cassius Ohno's theme song, pretty dumb. Just saying. Of course, his whole gimmick was dumb, in my opinion. Alright, so this one Baron Horst Mueller. Up against Danny Dusek. Danny Dusek, real wrestler. Baron Horst Mueller, one of my creations. Again, this is the older version of WWE 2K. It's 19. I hope to be able to get into the newer one before they shut the... so that some of the guys could be uploaded. This one... sort of a grudge match. Bronco Nagurski against the Cardiff Giant again. Oh yeah. Bronco's down here because his name's all in caps. I don't know why that means anything, but... that's your main event. So match 4, Nagurski versus Giant. Match 5, Mueller versus Dusek. Match 2, match 5, match 3, match 2, Magamuchi versus Riley. And match 1, Parker versus Vinette. Okay. The fourth and final show of tonight's broadcast. When these 4 matches are done, we'll be done for the night. And of course, like I said, at some point another, I don't know when, I will edit them into 4 individual shows, but let's get underway. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday night. It's Canadian Wrestling from the Ottawa Auditorium. We're wrapping up April's wrestling card tonight, April 28th, with 4 matches on the schedule. Let's hope for the best and hope for some exciting action. We have in the main event tonight, we have a rivalry that was started last week, Bronco Nagurski versus the Cardiff Giant. But first, we've got some early action. Lance Parker versus Pierre Vinette. Let's get into this matchup. Lance Parker, out of Knoxville, Tennessee, is making his second appearance here on Canadian Wrestling. He is 25 years old, trying to get on track and create himself a legacy. Pierre Vinette, on the other hand, this man is 29 years old. He's making his 4th appearance on Canadian Championship Wrestling. He out of Nice, France. So let's go down to the ring to see these two in action. Not sure who the crowd's going to side with, neither Canadian. Parker wrestling in a full shirt and long pants as he is a barroom fighter out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Vinette thinks that kind of action is beneath him. He was quoted earlier saying that this is going to be no match as he is a professional wrestler and Parker is a brawler. The two styles, in his opinion, do not mix. And already off the bat, look, one-handed carry for Vinette, and he's just going to make Parker sit there as he drops him knee first, that's twice, and just rolls him off. The disdain that Vinette has for Parker is unquestioned, as he feels that he is not the athlete the same caliber as Vinette is. Parker, on the other hand, just wants to fight. He likes to fight. He likes to feel bones breaking at the cause of his fists. And but already early in the match, it's seeming like perhaps Vinette is right, that the professional wrestler is going to be the better opponent. Oh my goodness! Vinette just clotheslined Parker right out of the ring, and he's continuing the beat down now on the man from Tennessee. But Parker's going to fight back. Parker with a drop kick, a standing drop kick. These two men have got to pay attention to the referee's count. They have a 10 count to get back in the ring. Parker doesn't seem to even notice as he's just turning and fighting. He's just turning and fighting at this point, and he is Vinette reverses it, and a clubbing blow to the back, tossing Parker. At the 7 count, Vinette is back in the ring. And now Parker gets back into. The fight will continue. A powerful maneuver out of the corner by Parker as he rolls Vinette over. I don't know how the referee can officially count shoulders down from way back there, but only a 1 count. Lance Parker on his feet. A takedown from Vinette. The Frenchman now working over Parker in the corner of the ring. He is going to slam him knee first into the ring canvas and go for the cover. On the ropes. The referee doesn't see it, but Parker, who's got a slight size advantage, is able to get out. And now he's going for a headlock. The referee is just letting it go. He's not checking to see if Parker wants, or Vinette wants to give up at this point. Vinette is able to squirm out. There is a lot of pride for Pierre Vinette when it comes to professional wrestling, as he believes not everybody can do this sport. But the promoters, like myself, hire anybody, as he said to me earlier, that by hiring a Lance Parker to work is just an insult. Oh, and he's gonna do push-ups off of Parker's back. It's just an insult to the sport, and yet Vinette will carry himself in that manner. That's not very professional, in my opinion. Picking him up by the head and driving him back down. Misses with a drop kick and a double stomp from Parker right into Vinette's gut. And can this be the opening that Parker needs? He's got him in a full Nelson, wrenching backwards. Referee is checking this time to see if Parker's willing to give up. Nope. Oh, fancy footwork as Parker misses. Parker with fast, lightning-like maneuvers. Not sure what you call that, but Vinette rolls out of the ring to try to get away from the onslaught that is Lance Parker at this moment. Driving him head first. This opening bout tonight on this Friday night show has been back and forth, a contrast to styles. They're back out on the ring apron, though, folks. Driving him face first into the ring apron as the referee is up to 5. Parker throws Vinette back into the ring, and we're back where it counts. A pinfall victory goes a lot further at the championship committee's mind than winning by countout or disqualification. But they all count. Vinette with the victory. Lance Parker seemed to have a little bit of momentum going, but Vinette just steals away the win. And gets the win. And folks, he wants you to know about it. He wants you to know how good he is and how good the professional wrestling is compared to barroom fighting. Pierre Vinette out of Nice, France gets the win. And let's move on to the next match. All right, we saw Tex Riley last week on the short end of the stick. He's making his 3rd appearance now. Out of Muleshoe, Texas. About approximately 33 years of age. Shinjay Magamuchi, we saw him, this is his second appearance for the 38-year-old. We saw him a couple weeks ago. Out of North Korea, the stronghold of communism right now. They've sent him to Texas to try and dominate the wrestling world. He is out of Pyongyang, North Korea. Right away, Riley coming to say words, but Magamuchi is not going to take any time in trying to dish out punishment. But Riley catches him. Riley catches him and he puts him in an armbar. Magamuchi is up. Riley's got a height advantage on the North Korean grappler. Dropping him on the back of his head. The Canadians are definitely behind Tex Riley in this one. Not many people like what's going on in North Korea right now. Of course, our brave men are involved in conflict over there, both in America and Canada. So Tex Riley is trying to fight for freedom's side. Magamuchi, however, he is not going to lay down and take it. Tries to walk away, but Riley follows him right out. Oh, and an atomic type drop on Magamuchi's tailbone. But he has fast flying knees. Oh my goodness, he just threw Riley into the ring steps. He just threw Tex Riley into the ring steps. I am not understanding why the referee is not disqualifying the North Korean grappler. But Riley fights back. His whole lower back has got to be swarming in pain. Throwing Magamuchi back into the ring. Riley, what is he doing? Fixing to bring him over to the corner. Oh, and Shinjay Magamuchi. Oh, Riley's got some words to tell him. A double axe handle across the face. Goes for the cover. Magamuchi is able to kick out. The forearm is blocked. A single leg drop kick. Single leg drop kick by Magamuchi. Stomping away at Riley's lower back. And that's a choke. Nope. No, I thought it was a choke hold. Riley fighting back. Tremendous clothesline. The referee is letting these two fight. There is animosity between the two of them. Driving knee right up into Magamuchi's skull and goes for the cover. Nope, just a 1 count and a kick out. Riley getting the crowd behind him. The Texan going to work. But Magamuchi was waiting for it. Regains the advantage. Cold, calculating, taking his time, driving his feet into Riley's face. The tremendous pain Riley has been put through already in this match. But the Texan keeps fighting back. A swinging neck breaker type maneuver. Riley driving his head first. A running knee lift. Back on the offensive. Into the corner, but Magamuchi is there and delivers a back elbow out. The sleeper hold now from Tex Riley. The referee trying to check on the North Korean to make sure he's still lucid and awake. No, he is out. He's out cold, folks. Tex Riley has put the Korean to sleep, and he is the victor this week, avenging last week's loss and winning one for North America and freedom. This is a nice, hard-fought, hard-earned victory. For Riley. This week he is enjoying the fan support that he has as he'll move up the ranks here in Canadian wrestling on Friday nights. Up next, we've got an interesting matchup. Baron Horst Mueller, who 2 weeks ago got the victory over the Canadian favorite, Canadian strongman, making his 6th appearance here on Canadian Wrestling, against Danny Dusek out of Union County, Mississippi. Dusek in just his 2nd appearance. Interesting to see who is going to come out on top between these two men. Let's head down to the ring. Mueller, the lighter hair, Dusek, the darker hair. Mueller with a swinging neck breaker. And Mueller has controlled this match from the start. Time permitting, we have a rematch of last week's big matchup between Nagurski and the Cardiff Giant. Mueller has had control of this match from the start, driving Dusek's knee. He goes for cover, cannot yet get a 1 count for Dusek. Danny Dusek out of Union County, Mississippi. He is 35 years of age. He's been wrestling for many years. He's a veteran of the sport. Mueller, coming from Berlin, Germany, a relative newcomer here in North America. Allegedly, he had quite the career during the war and after the war in Germany, West Germany now. But Mueller doesn't much care for the rules either. He likes to bend them, if not break them. So it's not surprising that he's out the outside driving Dusek across. But Dusek is able to escape, get back in the ring, and we'll continue the match from here. Dusek with a reversal. Oh, but Mueller, it was short-lived. Mueller regains the advantage. He just drove his neck, Dusek's neck, onto his knee. I'm not sure how much kind of abuse like this the Mississippi grappler can take. Now a single leg submission maneuver out of the Baron. Nope. Dusek's able to flip it around and get out. Kick to the back. And he waits for the Baron to get up. Nice takedown into a rear chinlock. But Baron Horst Mueller was in the ropes, and Dusek had to break it up. I don't know as if the Baron would give him the same... Dusek trying to get away. I don't know if the Baron would give Dusek the same courtesy, but Mueller slamming Dusek face first into the ring apron. And showing the Canadian crowd just how strong he is. Or how strong he believes he is. Dusek fighting back. The referee is up to 6. These two men are getting to a point where they might not even hear the referee. Oh my goodness, that had to hurt. Mueller is thrown back in the ring, and at the 8 count, we're back into the legal action. A European uppercut out of Mueller. Hitting Dusek right where his arm connects to the torso. Can Dusek get out of this weird shitbox? No. That's all Dusek can take. Baron Horst Mueller continues his winning ways here on Friday nights, getting another victory, his second in the month of April, and it was not a lot that Dusek could do. Mueller dominated most of the match. Wasn't always pretty, but Baron Horst Mueller is your victor, and of course, Chief Brown Bear has got to be paying attention to a man like Mueller, as he might be coming for his title at any time. We've got one match left, folks, and it is a grudge match. Last week, Bronco Nagurski fought off the size advantage of the Cardiff Giant, a 4-inch height advantage, almost 100 pounds. Nagurski, the NFL star, came out on top with a pinfall. Tonight, will it be a different story? This is Nagurski's 5th matchup here in Canada and the Giants' 4th. Two of the most popular wrestlers here in Ottawa. Giant was quoted, the Cardiff Giant was quoted as saying that last week's win by Bronco Nagurski was a fluke, and he is going to show him tonight and hold no mercy, just putting his entire body weight onto Nagurski's stomach. But Nagurski seems unfazed. All the abuse and punishment he used to take facing the likes of the New York Giants, the Detroit Lions, and the Green Bay Packers has caused him, has built up a lot of strength in his core, and of course, not to mention the drills that George Halas put him under in the NFL. Nagurski with a running knee lift, still, even at 41 years of age, still has a lot of agility left in him, a lot of fight. He's not ready to retire. He said he's enjoying himself. The Cardiff Giant, on the other hand, doesn't enjoy much other than hurting people. Nagurski, however, with another running lift and a pinfall count, but the Giant kicks out. The Giant is able to kick out again, and we have a situation where, oh my goodness, don't do this, Bronco, don't do this, you're putting your health at risk. Oh my God, oh my goodness, Bronco Nagurski coming off the top, out onto the ring floor, landing squarely on top of the Giant, and now he's got to get him back in the ring. Nagurski is relentless, that monster of the midway mentality that he showed in the NFL field, on display here tonight. A flying crossbody block. A flying crossbody block. And where is Nagurski taking the Giant? Into the middle of the ring, and he's going for the cover. Can he get 2 wins 2 weeks in a row? No, not yet anyway, as the Giant kicks out. And he just tosses him down like a rag doll. All of the abuse and punishment that Bronco has put on the Giant, and he just tosses Nagurski around like a rag doll, but the fight in the old Chicago Bear isn't gone. Look at the speed. I don't even know what to call it. Bronco. He has been a house of fire, house on fire tonight here at the Ottawa Auditorium. Giant with a fantastic maneuver. A little returning of the favor action going on now. These two men do not like each other. It is evident from what happened last week. with the Giant saying it was a fluke. Nagurski saying he'd do it again. Oh. Hard chop right to Nagurski's skull. Delivering all his weight into the corner on the opponent. Taking him down. Just having his way. No! Yes. Cardiff Giant. Waiting on Nagurski and a big boot. And now the momentum is squarely in the Cardiff, Wales resident. So far, this month of April has been a fantastic month of wrestling here in Ottawa. We had a title change on the 14th. We've got rivalry here on the 28th. We've got a lot of young wrestlers and the veterans like Nagurski and Giant. And we've had referees that don't seem to want to count. But this time, this is no fluke at this point. Bronco has won 2 weeks in a row. You cannot call it a fluke. At this point, it's fact.
Here is your winner, Bravo Natoli.
Thank you for joining us once again on another action-packed hour here at Canadian Wrestling on Friday nights. Friday Night Wrestling, if you will, from Ottawa, Ontario. As always, I'm Edmund Vincent, and join us next week as we'll bring the month of May in with more exciting Canadian wrestling from the auditorium here in Ottawa. All right, folks. So that's how it's going to work. That's a full month. I'm going to go ahead, sign off at this point. Looking at my schedule real quick, however, next Friday, the 24th of March, I am also off. So the plan is to do May of 1950. Again, everything's created, everything's ready. At some point in the next couple weeks, I'm going to buy the new WWE game and start getting 1951 ready to go. If you watch this, for those who tuned in live, or if you're watching at any point in the replay, let me know in the comments what you thought. Let me know any improvements in my own commentary. I can add some 1950s style touch to it. And until then, thank you for watching. I'm Vinny Vincent, although on the shows I'm playing my grandfather Edmund because it's 1950. Thanks for joining us. God bless.